The first site I recommend playing on labs is the top floor site, Command and Server. Now, first up, you always need to bring on this map of Smoke, which you're going to have him do. The very beginning of the prep phase, make a vault rotate into connector. Then you're going to have him hit these two connector walls. As well as this meeting wall. Then you're going to have him give you a piece of barbed wire mid-meeting hall, and his second piece of wire under the electrical window. Now, once all that setup is done, your job is to quite literally just play in connector. If anyone tries to take meeting, you have perfect weapons to fight at this distance. If they get the wall open, you have very easy rotates both back into sight, or the safer option is to back into connector or into electrical, and you once again have perfect weapons to be taking these fights. You also have perfect time delay tools as well, so ideally this should be an extremely tough position for the attackers to take from you. You will also have a BP in this hallway as well to swing off of, placed here by your Jaeger player, so there shouldn't be any reason you shouldn't find success here. The second op one always needs to bring on Command and Server is Cade, in which you're going to have this man do. Starting the round, go reinforce both IT walls, rotate. Then, you're going to make head holes on only this left panel. This right panel will be reinforced. Then you're going to make feet holes in this right panel and this left panel. Again, the middle panel will be reinforced. You're then going to come into connector, Cade claw this outside wall, and hit a reinforcement on this right panel. Now again, the smoke's going to make a rotate here for you, so you can just hop back through that. And after that's done, your job is to simply just play in sight and watch the holes. You have head holes here. We also need to be putting feet holes in this wall, only on this panel. And your job is to literally just play A, play the feet holes, watch the top cargo door. You can also watch people that are getting aggressive on cargo rafters itself towards IT. You prevent the blue door and blue stairs, walk in with these feet holes. If they push you back a bit, like if they get full control of this, you still have these holes to watch. And with these holes, you can still like open it up further if you need and get really good angles into cargo. Just try to play the longest angles you possibly can, essentially. Third op I recommend bringing on this site is Jaeger. And what you're going to have him do at the start of the prep phase is run over, reinforce this right panel, as well as this middle rafters panel. You're then going to have him go to the electrical door. You're going to have him put two ADSs on this electrical door, as well as putting one ADS here to protect your smoke player from spam coming in through the hallway. You're then going to have him put his BP in meeting hall, and from that point on, he can just roam downstairs. I recommend having him run somewhere bottom cargo, because what will end up happening is a lot of the times attackers will try to take control of the lounge vending storage side of the map. Ideally, as Jaeger, you should be trying to hold that off for a bit. But, like always with roamers, you have tons of options. If they push in one half of the map, you can always come back up the other. It's not any different than any other roaming setup, frankly. The fourth op I recommend for a top floor defense is Tubero. Now, extremely simplistic site setup, but you're going to have him reinforce this right circle wall. And from there, he doesn't have any more dedicated setup, however. Obviously, make sure that all of the walls that need to be gotten are got. But after your setup is done as Tubero, you are just going to be playing inside IT, waiting for him to breach the wall, throw your ice on the wall. As well, if you get the call that they're trying to breach the connector wall, what you can do is rotate over here, and you can throw your ice over this little half-bell thing onto the breach. And as you can see, it gets the breach. So beyond that, you, like I said, just play IT, make sure that wall doesn't get open. If you can, make sure this wall doesn't get open. Against ace charges, I don't think you'll have enough time to rotate, but you might. Against thermites and Hibanas, you definitely do. There's no reason that should be getting opened by a thermite or a Hibana. Aside from that, obviously, you can push out of IT, you can play these holes, or if through some kooky circumstance you're allowed to just play top warehouse against it, I guess you can, and then fall back if you're able to, but, you know, nothing too bad. The final op I recommend for a top floor defense on this map is mute. Now what you're going to do is mute is first and foremost. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to mute the top warehouse door. You're going to then mute the site door in from IT. They're going to then mute the connector door into electrical. And you're going to mute the connector door out to meeting hall. Once that's done, your setup is complete. And what you're tasked with doing during the actual game is you're just going to play back server. You're going to support your smoke player by playing these angles through the rotate. If need be, you can throw a C4. You can also obviously hop on cams. What I personally would probably do is have your mute player watch the BP. That's going to be placed right here. So I'd have the mute player watch this BP, feed the smoke info, and then when the smoke's about to peak, you also hold the angle from here in case he gets fried. That way you can re-peak. Or refrag it, rather. And obviously, if you end up losing connector, this rotate becomes an issue. So what mute has the option to do is he can either fall back into here, or if that's not an option, what he does have the ability to do is just pop his hat and just leave. But beyond that, it's a pretty standard anchoring roll. Nothing too out of the ordinary. First off, I recommend bringing for a nanotech and tank defense is mirror. What should I do first and foremost? Set up your first mirror window on this right panel in nanotech, looking at main breach. Make a vault rotate next to the mirror. Has to be a vault. Then you're going to reinforce this left panel. Then you're going to go over to this other nanotech wall and set up your second nanotech. Now, this one, by far weaker because it only looks into EXO, but still gives you a very decent sight line on an area that attackers tend to walk down. This mirror window here gives you obviously line of sight on the main breach, allows you to see for any of the default plants, and it's very hard to dig mirror out of. Additionally to these mirror windows, you're going to put feet holes along the entirety of this hallway. And that's the entirety of Mira's setup during the round. She's just going to play her Mira windows as she pleases. The second op I recommend bringing for a basement defense on Nighthaven is Cade. The first wall he's going to get the Animus wall, throw a Cade on it. He's going to put features in the Animus single panel. He's then going to come and get the exterior assembly walls. Take those off as well. And he's going to then come and put defaults into cargo to prevent the cargo stairs blocking up. And then aside from that, Cade's just going to play inside A, try to hold off the Animus breach, hold off cargo with his own feet holes as well, hold off the Animus walk-in if they get it open with these feet holes, and you're also able to potentially swing the main breach.
Bomb location secure.
Third op I recommend for a basement defense is Jaeger. What you're going to have him do, place two ADSs behind these boxes in assembly to protect the Mira from the main breach. You're going to have him place a BP right here next to the exo door. Then you're going to have him sprint up and get the exo hatch, which is this way. And have him get the cargo hatch. And he'll sprint back to the bomb site. And place his final ADS on the exo bomb to protect anyone in the exo door. And from here, Jaeger is just going to play in exo, swinging off the info from this Mira, where the Mira calls somebody's pushing in. She can swing them, and then Jaeger can follow up with a swing as well, either trade the Mira out, or potentially get more kills. You're also tasked with playing this door in a post-breach situation, to make sure they can't just walk in along with the Mira. So ideally, whichever angle, say it's a situation where breach is open, and you have people pressuring the exo stairs, whichever angle your Mira is not watching, you need to be watching the other and vice versa. Obviously, if the breach is closed, you two can afford to just both focus on exo, but in a worst case scenario, we need two people in these positions. And you are the second. For the fourth op I recommend for this bomb site is actually going to be Vigil. What you're going to have him do is reinforce this left cargo wall, and then simply just run upstairs, and he's going to drone hunt the entire prep phase. Now after the prep phase is over, I do recommend that you bring... This role doesn't have to be filled by Vigil, it can be filled by any roamer, preferably one with impacts, so even somebody like Cav works. You can do it with anybody with impacts, it can work. But you only need impacts because of this. Throw an impact here after the prep phase is done, that way they can't drone it during the prep phase. And then you just want to sit up here in IT and wait, because inevitably there will be an attacker that comes to this window, and they will just be a free pick. And then after you get this pick, or after they drone you out, they're obviously going to, what you can do then is you can rotate back down either of the stairs, or you could rotate all the way down through blue and come down exo stairs. Your goal, as always, roaming, just waste as much time as possible. Just do as you see fit, rat as long as possible, you know the fifth and final op that we need for this site is 2 morale, and I've shown you all the site reinforcements already, so he doesn't have any dedicated walls. However, your job's just to make sure everything gets done. If your team's lazy about hatches, go get hatches. If for some reason these are unreinforced, get them. You know, just get all the walls. And ultimately, your job in the action phase is to really just sit here, throw your shit on the main wall. After it inevitably gets open, just pull back, play the store, play the feed holes, pull off animus as well. If you're Mira, somehow gets picked off the Mira, you're the backup Mira player. That's nothing complicated at all. The third site I recommend on Nighthaven is Kitchen Cafeteria. First thing you're going to do, make feed holes in this wall, as a rooney, of course. Then, you're going to place your first rooney gate on the entrance to the cafeteria hall. Then, you're going to come over here. These two doors need to be located. Then, you're going to come back into sight and reinforce this single panel. Place in a rooney gate on the storage door. You're gonna head over here. Make the vault rotate to front. Once that rotate is made, we're gonna hit this reinforcement. And you're going to place in a rooney gate on the window and a piece of barbed wire on the window. This second piece of barbed wire can go underneath the vending window. And then beyond that, you're going to play in lounge, pull people off storage, pull people off breaking these two barricades, pull people off if they come in the vending window or exo stairs. And yeah, nothing too complicated. Second up that you need for a kitchen defense is Cade. What you're going to do first and foremost, you're going to reinforce this cafeteria wall and put a Cade on it. And you're going to reinforce this cafeteria. And then come over here, reinforce this left panel. Again, roll me in a rooney, I'll rotate this right there. And then you'll throw a Cade Claw so that it gets both the hatch and this wall. And beyond that, you're just going to play in sight. I recommend that you place somewhere inside kitchen, either in kitchen, like up here, or over here. Just somebody needs to be watching the window, and it makes no sense for it to be using Goyo. So, you are the designated cam bitch as well, so if anyone needs somebody to sit on a cam, it's going to have to be you. Aside from that, yeah, I mean, third operator you need for kitchen defense on Nighthaven is Jaeger. Now, what I recommend for Jaeger is first and foremost, run out here, set up your DP looking in the lounge hall. Then, come here, give me an ADS for the lounge door, or the cafeteria door. Give me an ADS for the breach. Give me an ADS underneath the kitchen window. And reinforce the lounge wall. And after your setup is done, what I recommend is you to roam upstairs, try and delay the meeting side take, try and delay them taking in this door, try and delay them taking meeting connector control, try and perhaps even play inside CC for a bit, or inside Surfer for a bit. Try to deny them taking this control, then back off quite quickly. You will have a roaming partner up here, so there is potential for you to play on each other for trades and such, but ideally, your goal is to just waste as much time as possible, because you will inevitably end up getting cleared out of here, and you will just have to fall back to the site.
Used by Op 4.
Next up, I recommend for this site is Legion, and what you're going to do as Legion is immediately run upstairs and get the outside connector walls. You're going to prep some Legion mines for the upstairs take. You're going to put vehicles in this wall to watch the hop in from the window. This wall to watch the stairs walk up, and at the end of the prep phase, you're going to jump out this window
You have been spotted.
and reinforce this hatch. This is a safe hatch to reinforce, so don't be too worried about it as long as you go in and then go back. As long as you go out, reinforce, and come back in without fucking around. And your BP can kind of be placed anywhere. It really doesn't matter. Legion was originally picked for this because it had impacts, but I still feel that the Legion mines are good enough, or are worthwhile bringing on this site upstairs, so it still works. You can also, obviously, since it's a shotgun, you can make the rotate in here, and during the round, you're just going to be playing up here with Jaeger. Normal rumble things, try to trade each other, just waste as much time as possible. This is a position that you're probably going to have to fall off of, to be honest, but you have plenty of routes to do that. You can go down upstairs, you can spot this hatch, you can even go down blue, you can even go down cargo if you need. There's multiple routes of escape, multiple ways of getting free kills as well without the feet holes. You should find it pretty easy to have success up here.
You must protect your bombs from being defused by Op 4.
I recommend on this bomb site is actually Goyo. What you're going to do is Goyo. First things first, you're going to place your Goyo next to the breach. You're then going to place a Goyo on this door. You're then going to leave the site. Place a Goyo next to this window for your enemy player to deny this hallway. And then place a Goyo right here. Again for your enemy player to deny the storage room. And once you've set up all your Goyos, make sure that all the site walls are reinforced, obviously. And just get back to play site. Do indicator just designated to play site. Hop on cams for roamers. All the normal anchor things.